So teacher education leadership is something what teacher educators have in national policy. First of all, they are contributing in education through teachers and what kind of identity and skills teachers have and what kind of attitudes they have of learning and teaching in schools. So teacher educators are influencing on schools, but then also they have a role in university to make teacher education visible and invite other faculties to work for education. And when teacher educators want to be leaders, they must have some vision. What is teachers' work in society? Why teachers are needed? How they should change something? In which way they can collaborate and how they should be networked also, because if you want to make changes in education you need a lot of partners and you need also networking. So that means that leadership has many phases, and that also means that teacher educators themselves need identity, that they really are important actors in education. Teachers and teacher educators play a crucial role in Finland. Why? I think that one major issue is that they are responsible of several important issues in education. They are responsible for developing local curriculum, and that means that they need understanding how teaching and learning should be organized in schools and how that should be organized in such a way that we really can implement our important policy principle of equity. That means every children should have a right to learn and have good education. So that is teachers' work in local schools, that they take care of structural issues and large curriculum issues, but they take care also personal relationship with children and also their future. They are influencing students' future. Teacher educators are then responsible that teachers really have these skills to do that and help forthcoming teachers to understand their multifaceted role. It's not only teaching math or teaching language, it's much more taking care of the whole children and also being cooperation with their parents and also being ethically committed in their work and implementing these values which are in our national core curriculum. So that means that teachers and teacher educators have special role in Finland, but also they take national discussion very often. They are active contributor also national working groups and national future groups for education, for national core curriculum, but also, for example, how to use new technology in education. That teachers are educators, but they also are researchers in Finland. And this research means that they have capacity to make observations. They can understand how knowledge can be created and what is knowledge. It's not something what we transmit from one to other. It's something what we are creating. One very important way to create knowledge is through research, which means that it is systematic inquiring, then analyzing, then making also some conclusions and decisions. So that is attitude. I think that teachers can't do like university researchers in doing research in such a sense in their classrooms, but they can have the attitude like researchers, that they question, they analyze, they think about why is that happened and what I should do and what we could do together in school to make some changes. In teacher education time, they have to write master theses, and that means that they practice what is systematic knowledge creation, and then that gives also very often some expertise to use some teaching methods, but also research methods, because very often those themes are related teaching and learning in school. One important method is action research, that there are small developmental projects that teachers can do in teacher education time and later on. And also teacher educators can have research projects where they work as groups, and then they try to find out new practices and test them, how they work, for example with new technology, how students learn with new technology, with iPads, with different kinds of social media tools, and then they make some decisions also how we could use these methods. So the research are very practically oriented. It's more applied research part. I think that the major issue is that teachers understand how they create also evidence. Evidence is coming through systematic research processes, but also through their own observations. That is very difficult to take all children's needs, and I think that in teacher education time we can give only some basic tools how to differentiate learning, but it's something teachers need to learn all the time in their learning career, and that's why we nowadays see that first year teachers need also some extra tutoring or mentoring that they can do that in a better way. But also in later on, teachers need that kind of in-service training and also cooperation with special need teachers, and also with school-based welfare group, which is just for helping those students who have difficulties. So that means that there is not any individual teacher who are totally prepare everything. They need cooperation and they need help, and they need all the time learning also these kind of new methods. And when we learn to know more and more about students' learning problems, that means also that teachers' work is getting more complicated, but also that means that then we can understand better also those difficulties.